Josh Appel is a brand new dad. Josh and his wife Mara welcomed a baby boy last week, and Josh is getting acclimated to being a parent, which can be quite the shock to the system. Josh also is going to be rinkside for Panthers Rangers January 2nd at Lone Depot Park for national radio coverage of the Winter Classic on Sports USA. And Josh is going to co-host our show with Solana on January 2nd as well from the Lone Depot Park media booth. So very exciting.
You also buried the lead a little bit. I'm on the call for Bills-Eagles this weekend in Buffalo.
I did not know that. Look at you, already traveling as a brand new dad. So
someone's got to make the money here.
What's it like? What's it like being a brand new dad, Appel? Are you tired?
Not as tired as I thought I would be, to be honest. Our son sleeps well-ish for the most part. I mean, it's a lot of eating, a lot of sleeping, and a lot of pooping, and a lot of diapers. And that's what our week is like. A lot of family coming through, bringing food, which is nice. We don't have to cook anything. But it has been a week today, and it has flown by, and we've learned a ton already. And it's been the best week of our lives, the time of our lives.
100% a lie what he just said. It's been terrible. You're stressed out. Every time little Chanelita says anything, you get scared. Come on now, man. Let's be honest.
You know, today he's kind of like, I turn to Mara like every 3 seconds. I'm like, is this breathing right? Does this sound okay? I don't know anything.
It's so
this
crazy.
What's supposed to sound like or anything.
I remember when Lori and I took DJ home, and like there's no manual. There's books that you read, but there's no manual. And you do like there's a little cough, and you're like, oh, I wonder if that is that like what is that rubella? I don't like your mind goes crazy because you have no idea.
Yeah,
because they stress you out. There's what to expect when you're expecting book. It tells you everything that can go wrong. Like, tell me my baby's gonna sleep for a couple hours and then wake up hungry. Like, don't tell me.
Tell me how great it's gonna be. Stop telling me a list of things that could go wrong.
The thing
my son's 5 right now, and I'm still worried about SIDS. He can't have SIDS. He's 5. he's talking.
Oh gosh, the thing that is a little comforting though is that like the routine is basically the same every day. When it's just okay, they wake up, change them, feed them. Okay, they go back to sleep. Okay, then they wake up, you change them, you feed them, and then they go back to sleep. So in that sense, like you get that routine down pretty quick. But then they like throw a curveball at you, and it's like, oh, now they're breathing a little heavier. And now he's crying. He stayed awake for 3 hours today. Normally he's awake for like an hour and 10 minutes. What are we doing wrong?
Once you think you have them in a routine, they will show you really quickly that you were mistaken.
Right. I've been very hesitant to be like, he hasn't really cried much today. Because I know 30 seconds later, he's going to be screaming bloody murder. In fact, while I was sitting on my laptop, I was trying to get some work done on my charts before I hopped on with you guys. And I had gone up to the office and Mara was downstairs with him. And through the closed door and over to the radio show, I just heard the loudest cries I've heard since we were in the hospital. And I rushed back down there. Turns out he just needed a diaper change.
Hey, welcome to the next 11 and a half months of your life, brother. I'm sorry. So I'll be honest with the new
after we get to a year, he's on his own. We're good.
Pretty much. They can handle their business.
Cut him loose. Yeah, give him a bus pass, let him get a job, and they can handle everything.
Much mazel, Joshua. We're very excited for you and Mara. Much mazel.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little sports. We were talking, would you make the trade Kyler Murray for Tua Tagovailoa?
I mean, sure, because I think if Kyler is healthy, he at least gives you the threat of using his legs. I think that for both guys, we've kind of realized, all right, like maybe they're starters in this league, but probably not much more than that. The tiebreaker here is obviously, as Solana said in the last segment, that Kyler's got the threat of his legs, and that's something that this offense has not had at all under Mike McDaniel outside of the Tyler Huntley experience at the end of last season. So in that sense, yeah, because you're not really tying yourself long-term to Kyler either. I don't know the specifics of the contract, but I would imagine there is an out there. The Dolphins are not going to be a good football team next year with their cap situation and the guys they're going to have to get rid of to manage that cap situation. It's just 26 is a wash. Maybe they surprise everybody, but like 26.
There's no scenario that you can come up with in your head where they're able to get a quality quarterback. Like, because we were asking, we were asking ourselves the question yesterday, weren't we, Crowder? Where it was like, is there a scenario with a new coach and a new quarterback where this roster, as currently constructed, could be a 10 or 11 win team?
But the problem is that the guys that they're going to have to restructure or move on from. You're talking about like Bradley Chubb and Minka Fitzpatrick and some of these guys that are their better players. Like, they're not going to get rid of Devon Achane. I can't see them getting rid of like Jordan Brooks, but some of these more inflated contracts, yeah, like those guys might not be here next season. But, you know, I wonder, because I was thinking about it when he came in against the Bears the other night, Malik Willis. He's a free agent. I wonder what that contract looks like for him in this offseason, because I think that there's going to be a team out there that will sign him to be a starter. And if I'm the Dolphins and I can make that work, that might be someone I kick the tires on. Been with Matt LaFleur for a couple of years. I don't know what's going to happen with Mike McDaniel, but there are some general similarities between the two systems that are both McDaniel and LaFleur are from the same tree, obviously. And so I wonder if that's someone the Dolphins kick the tires on, or do they just say, all right, 26 is lost, and Quinn Ewers, maybe he showed enough in these last 3 games where they roll him the next year and he's competing for the starting job, and they view next year as a transitional year anyways, where they can finally reset for 2027 with cap space and picks and all of that. Maybe that's their plan. But, you know, I know I'm assuming this question's coming. I've been wishy-washy on this, and I hate how volatile my opinion is on this, but after watching Mike McDaniel and this team on Sunday, I think I'm good on that. I think I'm good with moving on from Mike McDaniel, because I was thinking about it, and I'm listening to him in the press conference in year 4 talk about, well, we need to find guys that want to be here. You know, that whole cliche spiel that coaches say. And it's week 16 of your 4th season, and you just got blown out. I know that they're a different 5-win team now with Burrow, Chase, Higgins, and all that healthy, but it's still the worst defense in the NFL that the Dolphins played on Sunday in the Cincinnati Bengals. And you get so severely outplayed in the second half, and that's like what I'm hearing in the press conference afterwards. It's like, man, I know I've heard Crowder say this, like the issues procedurally, they're the same that they've been for 4 years. And it's like, what's the point here? Like, what are you really trying to accomplish by keeping him another season? Is it that, all right, it's lost anyways, so what's the difference? We're already paying him? Then whatever, fine. But status quo that Stephen Ross wants to get out from under, keeping Mike McDaniel is not the solution to that. So I think I'm not going to go back on this. I'm putting my line in the drawing my line in the sand. I think that the Dolphins should, at this point, move on from McDaniel. I was getting back there. I said
until
on the show,
they put up 70 on Tampa Sunday.
And I'm all back in, baby.
I'm glad you talked about the Shanahans and McVays. You said the same tree, that coaching tree. And I'm with you. And I believe in coaching trees. We know about Parcells' coaching tree, know about Belichick coaching trees and all that. But we all know we all bought grapes from the gas station or from the grocery store, or we've bought bundles of grapes. There's always that little ugly grape at the bottom, and there's good grapes. I think we got the little ugly, moldy grape when we bought off the Shanahan tree. McDaniel is not that guy, and you said it. I've been on this path for about 3 weeks now. It's just not there. Why would you show us that you gave up on the quarterback? Because what Hawk calls it the big 3. Solana and myself we have a little problem with that because our big 3 was LeBron, Bosh, and Wade. So the big 3 name needs to be taken. But if your big 3 is Greer, McDaniel, Tua, you fire Greer, you put Tua on the bench as a third string damn scout team guy. What the hell are we doing worrying about or looking into or putting any more efforts into McDaniel being a good coach. That's the part. Now, you kind of hit on it, with your last answer. That's the part that's puzzling me about this whole thing.
Isn't it so Dolphins that of all the Shanahan tree assistants that have been hired, they end up
get the
with
moldy
this one?
grape.
Like Kevin O'Connell's been really good. Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, all these, like Kevin Stefanski. I know it hasn't gone well, but he was coach of the year at one point. Like the Dolphins end up with this, and it looked like it was going to be really good for a little bit. It really did, but it seems like this should be coming to a close because amongst the guys that have gotten head coaching jobs from that tree, it is fairly clear that the Dolphins ended up with, as Crowder described, the mushy grape.
He's the mushy grape. But to your point, do you keep him around? And Solana's made this point. Like, if you're going to reset, like, just get somebody you love. Like, it's almost like this buffer year. And y'all can't sell me on an NFL team buffer year. That's what I do.
Way to do that,
I do not want a buffer year.
The only way to do that, I really believe this, is to be honest with the fans. Where Stephen Ross or Champ Kelly comes out and says, listen, we're going to be terrible next season. We know it. So why should we throw money away and pay McDaniel not to coach when whatever happens, we're going to have a crappy season anyway? So we're going to bring him back. We're telling you we're bringing him back only because of money. In fact, we're bringing back Tua only because of money. You guys are going to have to sit through a crappy season in 2026 anyway.
You've already
sat
saved
a little bit of money.
Another one.
Gives us an opportunity to spend a little more money in 27, and we appreciate your patronage.
No, but Appel, that's what I was going to ask you. The Saints are kind of the blueprint for whatever it is we're talking about here. Not keeping Tua, not keeping McDaniel. They did it differently, but the Saints are essentially in a buffer year this year. They had the Tyler Shuck behind Spencer Rattler. They don't really believe in either of them, but they're like, whatever, we'll kind of kick the
I think Shuck's got I think Shuck might be a guy. I think Tyler Shuck might be a guy.
Yeah.
Mark that sound, Jimmy.
Well, I said I think. So if he's not, then I'm good.
That's the blueprint.
Jimmy,
here,
edit
right?
it to I think Shuck is the guy.
That's the blueprint, Appel, because it's not the Broncos. They got the quarterback, and it's not the Patriots. They have the quarterback. It's the Saints, where it's like, well, maybe we'll give somebody a chance here, whether it's Quinn Ewers, we'll draft somebody, maybe it's them, but it's a reset year next year.
For sure. And it just kind of depends also, like, can you sell a coaching candidate on enduring 1 year of that? Can you sell a new general manager on, like, hey, like, you're going to have to just kind of weather the storm here. But again, before 2027, you've got all this cap space. It's your show to kind of mold it how you see fit. Or can they just do that after? It like depends what candidates that are out there. Like I like
they did
Kellen
it with
Moore.
Flo. They did it with Flo.
Right.
They hired Flo and they said, "Hey, you're tanking this year because we want Tua." I mean, they did it.
Except he didn't tank.
Might have Joe Burrow instead. It wouldn't have to go for first round picks like they reportedly tried to. I like Kellen Moore a lot, but Kellen Moore's name had been in hiring cycles for a couple of years now. The Dolphins had interviewed him at least once, maybe twice, the last two times the job was open. So it kind of was like, all right, Kellen Moore, if you're going to get one of these jobs, it's going to be a situation like the Saints. So I don't know, like, what candidates are out there that are kind of like been through this already, been through the hiring cycle and not gotten jobs, and it's like a last resort. And like, as much as I like Kellen Moore and think he's done a nice job with that, given the circumstances, like, it might, as much as I don't want him back, I don't know that it's, and I realize I'm contradicting myself at the end of this interview after I said at the beginning, like,
I mean, you were emphatic.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think Mike McDaniel should be back, but like, what's the point in paying him to not coach here if next year's lost anyways? Give it, like, what's the candidate pool going to be like? How attractive is this job going to be for some of these up and coming guys? Like, they don't need to hire John Gruden. That's a non-starter. But like, is this going to be the end of the? We've talked about this before. Is this going to be the end of the line for Harbaugh in Baltimore? Would Harbaugh come here? Stephen Ross loves a Harbaugh.
And I love Harbaugh's too. Solana brought this up a couple weeks ago where if you fire somebody, who are you going to hire? You fire somebody who, if I'm in a relationship that's nasty, abusive, ugly. You know, we can't stand each other's in-laws. Like, I just get out of that relationship. I'll figure out my next girlfriend on the path down.
But it's so
why
much more
sit around
permanent.
with
It's
him?
so much more permanent with a head football coach. You can't get into something quick and go, I'm still going to keep my eyes open. Like when if you're severing a relationship with a head football coach, you're getting in minimum another 3-year relationship. You know, there's the one-offs, the Cam Camerons or whatever, but that has to be an epic disaster. You're entering another long-term relationship. To do it again with another up-and-comer who you're rolling the dice on, how many times can the Dolphins do that? So in that instance, you need to wait for a Harbaugh or a Tomlin or someone who's got winning experience and experience putting together winning stable football teams. And I don't know if that'll exist this offseason.
But I would say a Liam Cohen in Jacksonville, who's 11-4 right now, want to be a top seed in the AFC. We all laughed at him.
Right, but you're rolling the dice again is my point. They've tried that with Gase. They've tried that with McDaniel. Who am I missing? It's every coach that they've hired since Don Shula has been, hey, we'll roll the dice and see if this guy, other than Jimmy Johnson, I guess.
But by the way, though, like it obviously didn't amount to a playoff win, but like Adam Gase and Mike McDaniel both made playoff appearances as head coach, and then it just kind of spiraled out of control after that. And like the common denominator there is Chris Greer was in this front office as a decision maker, and now he's gone. So we really don't know big picture wise what comes next from this. There was something that you had said too that sparked a different thought. Now I can't find it. It's fatherhood. Fatherhood has made my brain mush. Because there was a point that I wanted to make, and now I can't find it.
That's inevitable.
Don't let that baby sleep in the bed with you, Josh.
No,
don't let the baby start sleeping in the bed because it never stops. I slept in the bed with my parents until I was 12.
Jimmy still sleeps in his parents' bed, right, Jimmy?
To this day.
I don't.
Are you sure, Jimmy?
I'm sure. I have a
I remember you telling me when you were 39 that you were going to stop that at 40. So you've stopped since you turned 40?
Even
Josh,
when
we love you. We love Mara. We love your new baby boy. We wish you nothing but the best. Mazel, mazel. And we will speak with you next week, buddy.
Can't wait.